Atma refers to the Supreme Lord or the living entities. Both of them are spiritual, free from birth and death, free from deterioration, and free from material contamination. They are individual, they are the knowers of the external body, and they are the foundation or shelter of everything. They are free from material chains, they are self-illuminated, they are the cause of all causes, and they are all-pervading. They have nothing to do with the material body, and therefore they are always uncovered. With these transcendental qualities, one who is actually learned must give up the illusory conception of life in which one thinks, I am this material body and everything in relationship with this body is mine. এই দুইটি শ্লোকর ওড়িয়া অনুবাদ। এই হল শ্লোকদের অর্থ। For Prabhupada, in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, Lord Krishna clearly says, Mivanso jiva loki jiva bhuta sanatana. All the living entities are part of me. Therefore, the living entities are qualitatively the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the leader, the supreme among all the living entities. In the Vedas it is also said, Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Lord is the chief individual living entity, the leader of the subordinate living entities. Because the living entities are parts, are samples of God, their qualities are not different from those of the Supreme Lord. The living entities have the same qualities as the Lord. Just as a drop of sea water is composed of the same chemicals as the great sea itself, thus there is oneness in quality but a difference in quantity. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by understanding the sample, the living entity, because all the qualities of God exist in a minute quantity in the living entities. There is oneness, but God is great, whereas the living entities are extremely small. Anara Anyan Mahato Mahyan, Kathopanishad. The living entities are smaller than the atom, but God is greater than the greatest. Our conception of greatness may be represented by the sky, because we think of the sky as being unlimitedly big, but God is bigger than the sky. Similarly, we have knowledge that living entities are smaller than atoms, being 1/10,000th the size of the tip of a hair. 8. The quality of being the supreme cause of all causes exists in the living entity as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, it is due to the presence of the living entity that the body exists and bodily changes take place. Similarly, it is because the Supreme Lord is within this universe, changes dictated by the material laws occur. Then, long purport. The word ekaha, meaning individual, is significant, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Masthani sarvabhutani na chaham tesu avasthita. Everything material and spiritual, including earth, water, air, fire, sky, and the living entities, exists on the platform of spirit soul. Although everything is an emanation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not think that the Supreme Lord is dependent upon anything else. Next purport. Both God and the living entity are fully conscious. As living entities, we are conscious of our bodily existence. Similarly, the Lord is conscious of this gigantic cosmic manifestation. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Jasmin Deho Pruthivihi Chantarikhyam Vigyantaram Adhikena Vijnanyat, Vijnanyat, Ekam Evaditiyam Atman Jyotihi Samrat Yehovato Saiman Lokan Asruddhat Satyam Jnanam Anantam Asango Ayam Purushaha Purnasya Purnamadhyaha Purnam Purnameva Vasishyate. All these Vedic injunctions prove that both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the minute soul are individual. One is great and other is small, but both of them are the cause of all causes. They corporally limited and universally unlimited. You should always remember that although we are equal to the Supreme Personal Godhead in quality, we are never equal to Him in quantity. Persons with a small fund of intelligence, finding themselves equal in quality with God, foolishly think that they are equal in quantity also. Their intelligence is called avisuddha buddhaya, unpolished or contaminated intelligence. When such persons, after endeavoring hard for many, many lives to understand the Supreme Cause, are finally in actual knowledge of Krishna, Vasudeva, they surrender unto Him. Vasudeva sarvam iti samahatma sudullava. Thus they become great Mahatmas, perfect souls. If one is fortunate enough to understand his relationship with God, knowing that God is great, Vibhu, whereas the living entity is small, Anu, he is perfect in knowledge. The individual exists in darkness when he thinks that he is the material body and that everything in relationship with the material body belongs to him. This is called aham mama, janasya mohayam aham mameti. This is illusion. One must give up his illusory conception and thus become fully aware of everything. In Bhagavad Gita, this is also in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 5th canto, the same thing. The demons say so. Those who don't believe in the Shastric injunctions, you understand, then believe Shastras, don't believe God, don't believe sadhus, learned persons, you understand? They say so. Asatyam apratishtham jagat ahu aniswaram aparaspara sambhutam kyanyat kama haitukam. You understand? They say this jagat, this world is aniswara, there is no God. Who is God? I am God. Is there any God? They are great. They think themselves very great. You understand? Great leaders. Great, politicians. You understand? They say so. And this is a fact. We also come across such people. When we go out to preach, when there is a great congregation of people, and sadhu has come, they all speak about God. Many people come to listen. And they also invite a great politician, leader, political leader. So once I asked one gentleman, why have you invited this political leader here? When you have invited us to know about God and soul, about the science of the soul and science of the law, what do they know? Why have you invited such a person? Swamiji, you please know that if a political leader will come, many people will come. Then assembly will be great. Otherwise, nobody will come. Very few people will come to know about your philosophy. They are not interested, but they are interested in political people. Material gain will be available. They will say, oh, good roads may be here, good light, electrification, good water supply, all these things. The leader may assure them. So they come and there will give a light. So they also give a seat with the sadhu, equal seat. Give the power land to him, that political leader. Then allow him to speak, let him speak. So what he speaks? He says, oh, we are hearing this sadhu say, oh Lord, Lord, Supreme Lord, God, God. What is that? Is there God? Has anybody seen him? Yeah. I am such a great leader, I have not seen. How? Others say that they have seen. No God. There is no God. He says like that. This sadhu say like that. That there is Lord, Supreme Lord, Parameswar, Bhagavan. Have they seen him? I am such a great leader. I lead so many people. I have not seen. Being such a great person, how the ordinary person can see the Lord? So there is no God at all. This is only saying, theoretical saying, not practically God exists. They say so. You see? And they are considered very great people. You understand? So, that he says. So in our term, we spiritual leaders stand up to speak, then we challenge them. What is that? There is no God. You are a born blind man. A born blind boy thinks. A born blind boy hears that many people are speaking of the sun. Oh, now dark night is gone, sun has arisen, now it is daylight. Day has begun, you get up, get up. Oh, he is thinking, what do these people say? Sun? What is that? Who is that? Who is that sun? I cannot see the sun. I make my own day and night. Whereas these people say that sun makes their days and nights. The one blind boy or person thinks like that. So is it a fact there is no sun? And his thinking is correct? No, you are a born blind. You have no proper vision to see the sun. Therefore you think there is no sun. Similarly, you leader, you have no proper vision, no proper understanding to know how Lord exists, how Lord is there. You are like a blind boy, a blind person. Therefore you say there is no God. Those who are endowed with such vision or seen God, they are saying, yes, God is there. Why don't you believe? Don't you think that I am a blind person, I have no proper vision? And one who has proper vision, he sees and says, why don't you accept it? That we say. Finish. The time is very short and the purport is very long. But I am a person to speak longer time, not a small time. I can speak 2 hours. Almost 2 hours it is not sufficient for me. I am habituated like that.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
I gave a class once in Australia, and one leader, devotee, he said to me, you're giving this nice class, how can you prove God exists?
How can you prove?
And he said, you prove to me that God exists. So how can you prove?
He asked this question. Only this theoretical saying or can you prove it? Isn't it? Yes. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Rasaham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasi surjayo punya gandha pratibhyam. So many things are said. You don't know God. See all these things first. This is the first knowledge. How you can have the idea about God. When you drink water, it is so sweet. That sweetness is I. Rasangam subhamtaya. Prabhasmi sajisvarjaya. You see the moon and sun, how thousands are. That thousands is I. You understand? Punyagandha Pratibhansya. So many things in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, for those people to have an idea of the love of myself. That's the this preliminary idea. You understand? This preliminary idea. You take that knowledge. You come and admit yourself in our class and learn it. So then you can understand. Otherwise, how can it be possible without accepting a guru, a proper teacher, and listening to him? Not possible. Just do it. When you are a mere child, you cannot understand how the sun rises, how the flower blossoms, how the wind blows, how the season changes. When you go to the school and college and read, then you can understand. So we have this school and college here. You admit yourself and learn from the teacher, then you can understand. Then you can get the proof. So, you are a blind man, you cannot see sun. So, go to the hospital and that will be operation, you will get back your eye, then you can see sun. Similarly, you are blind to see Lord. So, we have doctors here. Sadhu Vaidya, Sadhu is a doctor. He will operate your eye, that vision, and he will be endowed with that vision, then you can see how he is.
Ramanjana.
Yes, Ramanjana Suvita. That is the thing. So, unless you have it, how can you know? And how can, if I prove, you cannot understand also. Why shall I prove to you?
I told him it's a matter of faith also.
Yeah.
You have to have some faith.
Yeah. As we are saying that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This, one must accept the authority. The primary teacher teaches this thing and the innocent child accepts it. How is it 2 and 2 is 4? Why not anything else? That will explain in higher mathematics class. First accept the authority. Then you admit yourself, then undergo the training. Then you can understand. Otherwise not. If I say, you cannot accept it, you cannot believe in it. Just believe. Yes, he is a spiritual authority, he is a spiritual authority, and is speaking, just believe it. And undergo the process. We have process. You have to undergo that process. Then your heart will be clear, purified. Then you can understand. And then you have the proper vision. Then you can see. Otherwise not. And your thing is, they say, they are known as, what we say, adhyokik. That word is there, adhyokik. Adhyokik means, akhi means eye. What they will see. Seeing is believing. They say this thing. Seeing is believing. If I see it, then I will believe. If I can't see, I will believe. That is that. Seeing is believing. All right, you can see. But you cannot see the Lord with this heart. From different eye, vision is required. You have no such vision. You understand? Mm-hmm. You are blind. But doctor is there. Do operation and that eye will be opened, then you can see. You have the proper vision. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurmanitam jena tasmai gurave. That we say. One can open that eye. Jnana. So, you are devoid of that chakra, that eye. If I prove, you cannot understand. If I show you, you cannot see also.